Alright, hi everyone, I'm Tracy and welcome to my channel. So I have a foundation comparison video for you guys today, and it's going to be between the Armani Power Fabric, the new formula that they came out recently, the Power Fabric foundation versus the classic Luminous Silk. So the Armani Luminous Silk foundation's been probably like my favorite since I've tried it maybe a year or so ago. And this and the NARS Naturally Longwear Radiant Foundation is also my #1 favorite. But I've been meaning to try the Power Fabric for some time. So when I found out they reformulated it, I definitely wanted to give it a try. And it's one of their more popular foundations. I'll read what it is supposed to be. Medium to full coverage foundation with a natural matte finish, lightweight, non-drying, long wear formula delivers up to 24 hours of wear and comfort with SPF 25 UVA UVB sun protection. It's formulated with a patented microfill technology, a fine weaving process that allows pigments to lay flat for seamless blending to provide a weightless and comfortable feel, available in 30 shades. And online it says SPF 25, but on the bottle it says SPF 20, so I'm pretty sure it's SPF 20. I don't necessarily look for SPF in my foundations because I wear SPF anyways, and from my understanding, foundation doesn't provide enough coverage even if it has it. So this is what it looks like. I believe it's the same packaging, and I have the shade 4.5, which is the exact shade in the Luminous Silk. And the reason I really wanted to try this is because I do prefer medium to full coverage. I like to cover up like things like this and this. So the Luminous Silk does cover a lot of that, but not necessarily everything. So this kind of sounds like my perfect foundation. So I did like prep my skin really well. I put I have a whole skincare prep thing. If you guys are interested in it, let me know and I could walk you through that. But I did like really moisturize. So I'm gonna put both of them on my palette here so that I could compare them, like, you know, before I put them on. And you get the same amount. It's 1 ounce, and I have the mini one, but this is normally a 1 ounce bottle. So I'll show you how it comes out. So it's a pretty heavy, not heavy, like pretty viscous formula because the Luminous Silk is pretty runny. So right here, Luminous Silk. I do prefer cream or liquid foundations. I feel like they're better at like filling in texture as opposed to a stick foundation. So yeah, these are some of my most loved makeup items. I love buying new foundation because I feel like that is like the most important step, at least for me, like my makeup needs. I think my foundation makes or breaks my look. So let me just clean this off. And I'm going to use 2 brushes just so I don't like mix them up. I'm going to use the Power Fabric on this side and then the Luminous Silk on this side. I didn't put any primer on like I normally do so we can see how the foundation fills in any pores. So I'm going to use 2 different brushes, but they're pretty similar. One is the Eihodo LQ3 and the other one's going to be the Yuki Takashima No. 5 foundation brush. And so let's start out. I'm looking at it in the pan and they look different as far as shades go. The Luminous Silk looks a little like it has more color, and the Power Fabric does look lighter. All right, I'm gonna just take it straight onto my brush this time. So when I did put it on my hand, I noticed that it was kind of dry and it really stuck to my hand. So if you're looking for something that is long lasting, like you have long work days, I think this one is definitely going to be long wearing. Oh yeah, I'm going to put these on and then I'm going to finish my makeup off camera, and then I'll show you guys the finished look, and then I'm going to wear it for maybe 5 or 6 hours, and then I'll come back and do a check-in. If for some reason I'm not able to do the check-in, I'll take a picture and show you guys how it wore. So it's not actually as full coverage as I thought it was going to be, because I can still see most of my hyperpigmentation. And these brushes tend to apply lightly, but I like it that because I have a lot of control over like the placement, and I feel very artistic using these brushes for a foundation. And what would be nice is if I could skip my concealer using this foundation. That's a huge time saver for me. All right, that looks pretty good. It does look kind of light, but I think that's because I have more color right now. And it looks kind of dry, like it looks pretty matte. All right, I'm going to start putting on the Luminous Silk. So I could already tell that the Luminous Silk is not giving as much coverage. All right, so right away I can tell that the Power Fabric is much more matte, and I can see a lot more luminosity on the Luminous Silk side. And I like having a little luminosity, but not too much. I do prefer my foundation to be slightly more matte. That's why the Luminous Silk is like my ideal foundation. It says luminous, but it's not like super luminous like the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. I like that one. It's just a little shiny for me. Okay, I'll zoom you guys in so you can see. So yeah, that's a lot more coverage. To me, that's a good amount of coverage. I'm just worried it might feel too dry as the day goes on. I have combo but more dry skin, and I'm in Southern California, so it is pretty dry, but it's been very warm, so we'll see how it holds up in this weather. And I'm gonna do my makeup and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. I did all of my makeup, and so far I'm really impressed with the new foundation. It doesn't look as light as it did when I put it on my hand in the store, and it actually matches the Luminous Silk. So the Luminous Silk is on this side, the Power Fabric is on this side. The main difference is it's drier here. I didn't set my face with powder, just a little bit around the eyes. So I can tell this side, it just feels like it's more set. It doesn't have any stickiness. This one has like a tad bit. I usually would set this, but I didn't want to do something to one side and not to the other. So I did everything equal, and I'm really impressed so far. And I don't think I love the Power Fabric more than the Luminous Silk or vice versa. I think they both look really good, and I'm really happy. I was a little nervous because I get my Armani from Selfridges and I can't return or exchange, so I'm always a little nervous about the shade match, but I think it worked out great. It's a little light, but so is the, you know, the Luminous Silk, because I'm a little bit more tan than usual. But yeah, I'm very happy with the product and the shade so far. So I'll be back. It's almost the afternoon, so I'll be back in about 5 or 6 hours and show you guys how it wore. All right, I'm back. So I've had this on for about, I don't have my, about 5 hours, and I wanted to do it now because I'm going to get really busy. And I'll tell you guys what I think of the Power Fabric foundation. Just from this one time using it, I love it. It really, I feel something that it did that the Luminous Silk didn't do so much, which kind of makes sense. It's more smoothing, and I really do look for that in a foundation. I have large pores here and here, so I appreciate if a foundation can kind of like fill everything in and smooth everything out. So Power Fabric's on this side, the Luminous Silk is on this side. Surprisingly, it didn't feel dry. It doesn't feel dry. I did moisturize pretty well before putting the foundations on. I kept everything the same, makeup, skin prep, and I do like both of them, but I do feel like, and hopefully you can see this in the B-roll where I took that downstairs in natural light, but I can tell, like looking in the mirror right here, my skin looks smoother here versus here. And I know like this side has way more, you know, hyperpigmentation, and I think my cheekbone is a little higher on this side. But in general, I feel like the Power Fabric held up better. Now, if you have dry skin, like really dry skin, you might prefer the Luminous Silk. It's just a little bit more moisturizing feeling, and it has more luminosity. I didn't powder, so what you're seeing here is the natural foundations finish. And it's pretty hot today, so I'm a little shiny through the middle of my face, but not terribly shiny. I'm actually going to powder a little bit, and just to see how the powder works on this side, because I, you know, sometimes would powder, and sometimes when I powder after a foundation's been worn, it looks really cakey. So I'll give you guys a good look to compare, but they're both very beautiful foundations, and I do have little greasiness coming through here, but that's to be expected. So let's see, I'm going to use this by Terry hyaluronic powder and just see how that works over the Power Fabric. Because sometimes this powder actually makes my foundation look even smoother. And yeah, I think that did. I think it made it even better. Let me just do the other side to keep things equal. But this powder is amazing. It does blur. I just try not to use powder unless I have to. that actually looks really, really nice. So it works well powdered. I think both sides, but especially the Power Fabric side. So I'm really, really liking it. I would say maybe in the winter, because it was kind of self-setting, I don't know, it might feel a little dry when my skin is drier, but I think if you have slightly dry skin, you will like this. But the Luminous Silk side looks pretty good as well. I don't have the original Power Fabric, so I can't compare it to that formula, but I've heard a lot of great things about that one. And yeah, I'm really, really liking it. I could especially tell, like right here where I have like the largest pores, I feel like it looks smoother there than it does here. Like I can see the pores, like the makeup settling in to my pores here, whereas this side I don't. So that's pretty amazing. Most of my foundations settle into the pores around my nose, so yeah, that is pretty impressive. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this foundation. I don't know if it will replace my Luminous Silk and NARS Naturally Radiant. I'll have to use it more to figure that out, but so far I'm really liking it. If you know your shade in the Luminous Silk, the same shade in the Power Fabric should work. I'm wearing a 4.5 on both sides, and I think it looks great. It's a little light for me for my summer skin, but I think during the winter it'll be perfect. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helps you guys out, and I will see you all next time. Bye.